I don't know why you guys bother to unpack. We're just going to move in 6 months, right? Which would be great. I mean, like you always say, who wants to live in one particular place their whole life? What?
Well, it's not going to be 6 months this time.
What? 1 month? 2? I mean, I should legally change my name to New Girl.
It's 3 years, Allie.
What?
We're going to be here for 3 years. This place is special. We were just offered contracts at the university.
So we're staying?
Yes. Now, we know that 3 years is a long time.
Wait. I'm going to be at Avalon High until I graduate?
Yes.
And I can try out for the track team and finish a season and make actual friends?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if you heard, but her name is my name too. Hey, Val.
Hey, Al.
Welcome to D Commentaries.
Thank you. Welcome to you and welcome to our listeners. Today, we're talking about Avalon High.
Yay! And I would like to make a formal apology for the person who auditioned for our show and said this was their favorite Disney movie, but they couldn't remember the title of it and we had never seen it. So we didn't know what movie it was. And now we know what movie it was. And I'm so sorry that we didn't know what Avalon High was.
Oh my God. They described the entire plot and we were like, we don't know what you're talking
about. No, I don't know that that's a decom. Sorry.
Are you talking about a kid in King Arthur's court? We were like, what are you talking about?
I felt so bad. He didn't end up getting cast. So we really
gaslit that person.
Really ruined this person's life. Sorry to this man. So sorry. And you know why I'm sorry? Because I liked this movie and I wish I had known what it was.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Al, should we just get right into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Avalon High came out November 12th, 2010. And it was directed by none other than Stu Gillard. Stu 2.
Ah! Stu 2.
Yes.
I should also say November 2010, I am now a senior in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, I've almost done it.
I am in the
real world now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. I was actually at this point living with my cousin, helping take care of my baby cousin, like his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was taking online classes because for a minute I thought I wanted to be a social studies teacher. So I was taking Eastern European history and weird stuff.
Interesting. Like Val, you would make a good social studies teacher.
I think I would really enjoy it. My one thing that I would hate is all the bureaucracy around being a teacher. Like, I think I would love the classroom part of being like a high school history teacher, but everything surrounding that I would absolutely loathe. Yeah. So
can I just show up, teach, and leave?
Yeah, literally. I mean, I wish that was the way it worked, but unfortunately, not so much. So yeah, instead I project manage.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You show up to work and you leave.
Right. Exactly. And Stu, who showed up, has also showed up a few other times. For those who may not remember, he was the director of Scream Team, Full Court Miracle, Going to the Mat, Twitches and Twitches 2, as well as episodes of Charmed and 90210. So he's pretty prolific middle part of the DCOM era's director. And honestly, aside from Scream Team, movies that I liked.
Solid resume.
Yeah. Twitches
aside
2,
from Scream Team.
And Twitches 2. Twitches 2 is rough. But that was, I think, more because didn't we talk about this? That they it was supposed to be like a feature film and then they made it so it was just like really messed up. So
Val, I need to talk to I'm going to pause you really quick. And I'm going to talk to you something very vulnerable I'm about to say here.
Okay.
And I've been meaning to talk to you about this because we've been doing this podcast for 3 years.
Uh-oh.
You talk about movies that we have seen as if we watched them last week. And there are movies that you mention things and I don't even remember that I watched it. And I know that I watched it because we have a full episode about it. But I don't remember a single lick of plot, single lick of anything about some of these movies. And someone will ask me a question about it and I just go, yeah. Oh, yeah. Then when that happened. And I'm like, I don't remember. It's like reading a book and forgetting everything you just read.
That's so funny.
And this happens a lot. So you were like, just now you were like, Twitches too. Is that the one where it's supposed to be a feature film? I was like, yeah. I don't remember.
In fairness to you, just so you're aware, at our improv decom rehearsal, this actually came up as a topic of discussion. So I was refreshed or forced to pull the memory closer to the front of my head. So it was ready to go.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know why I have, because there are many, many, many things I forget, including like important memories from my actual life. So I don't know why I reserve space for Twitches too, but not necessarily for like, you know, something that happened to me.
Your 13th birthday.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't know. So we're just different people. Our brains work differently.
And I'm sorry to you and anyone else who brings up a decom to me and I lied to your face.
Oh, I don't care. But thank you for owning up. All I remember is
Genus Bingo.
Genus. Oh my God. This is so funny. Okay. There were 3 writers on this. The first was Julie Sherman. She almost exclusively writes like Hallmark / Christmas TV movies. Like her entire resume is that.
Wow.
Yeah. Then we have Amy Talkington, who has only written 2 things since Avalon High. And Meg Cabot, for whom this was her final writing credit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know Meg Cabot, so this movie was based on a book called Avalon High. The plot in the book and the plot in the movie are a little different according to the internet, but Meg also wrote Princess Diaries.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So Princess Diaries is where we get it was a book first and made it into a movie. So that's a fun Meg Cabot. I was like, why do I know her? What's the big one? And I looked and I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course it's Princess Diaries.
That's so funny. What a fun fact.
And Al's delivering the fun facts today.
That's right.
Okay.
Beat me to it. Okay, the cast is as follows. Britt Robertson played Allie Pennington. She has been in a number of things, including Swingtown, Life Unexpected, Under the Dome, Tomorrowland, Girl Boss, For the People, Big Sky, and The Rookie, The Feds, which I didn't know The Rookie had a franchise, like a spin-off. But yeah, so she's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I recognized her from Tomorrowland. Because if you're a Disney fan, you know everyone was excited about that movie and it was a hard flop.
But you know what bums me out about that is I actually really like that movie.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
That's fine. We can have different opinions.
And we do.
I enjoyed it. But yeah, she definitely looked familiar to me. I mean, she's obviously got a lot of work.
Yeah.
Then we had Greg Sulkin as William Wagner. He was on Wizards of Waverly Place. And since then he's been on something called Faking It and Runaways, which was a Marvel thing. He's been in other stuff too, but those are the notables.
And he is British.
He is British. So I wrote, one of my first notes was everyone in this movie is faking an American accent with the exception of Brit and the guy who plays Miles, who's the next person we're going to talk about. And the dad, her dad. But every other person is faking an American accent.
Interesting.
They very clearly filmed this in New Zealand. So like a lot of the smaller characters are from New Zealand. Additionally, Greg Sulkin is British, as is Steve Valentine, who we'll get to in a second. So anyway, That's Greg Sulkin. Joey Polari played Miles. And he was on The In-Betweeners, American Crime, and Love, Simon, among other things. Uh-huh. The movie Love, Simon, not the show.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I liked it. Devin Gray played Marco Campbell. He's just a straight up character actor. Like, he's been in a ton of things, but nothing for more than like a couple episodes. Molly C. Quinn played Jennifer Jen. She's been in something called the Winx Club, which I'd never heard of. And then she's been on Castle, I presume is a lead character because she had a lot of episodes. Christopher Tavares played Lance Benwick, his best friend. He had a pretty small resume, but like had credits from like recent. So he just maybe like does other things than acting and then like periodically does stuff.
Yeah.
Steve Valentine played Mr. Moore, the history teacher. He is a pretty prolific character and voice actor. Some notables are Crossing Jordan and I'm in the Band. I definitely recognize him from Crossing Jordan. He normally has like long hair. You might recognize him more if you saw him like
what's his name again?
Steve Valentine. Like, he's normally clean shaven with long hair, and in this he had short hair and a like goatee.
Val, he's a magician.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Wow, you guys. Oh, he's also in Teen Beach Movie.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
And Don't Look Under the Bed.
Really? Who was he?
And the Wizards of Waverly Place movie, which we don't talk about those.
Who was he in Don't Look Under the Bed?
He's the boogeyman.
Oh, well, we never like see him without like the makeup.
I know, it's just funny that he had such a big part in that movie.
And we just didn't know it was him. That's so funny.
See, another thing. Forgot that Stephen Tobolowsky was in Don't Look Under the Bed. Well, I also did really block that out from my memory because I hate it. But
oh, that's so funny.
Wow. Here I am needing a fact check Val.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sorry I missed that.
Talk about a fact checker, Al, over here.
My bad. Then we had Don Lake as her dad, Mr. Pennington. He's also a big character and voice actor and writer. He is from Second City, Toronto. So he's been in, he was in like Best in Show and A Mighty Wind and For Your Consideration, like all of the Christopher Guest movies. And then he was the dad's voice in Zootopia. And he was more recently in Space Force, which was
he's in a lot.
Yes, he's in a lot of stuff. He also like wrote for the Bonnie Hunt show, I think was the one where he did a bunch of episodes. But yeah, he's a comedy guy. That's all for the cast.
That's it. No one else.
There were a couple other like the football coach.
Yeah, they're all the New Zealanders.
Right, exactly. The football
Kiwis.
coach and the track coach both have like pretty big resumes, but they're all like New Zealand shows. Like the track coach, for example, was on Top of the Lake, which was a great show filmed in New Zealand with Elizabeth Moss as the lead. That was great. But she was also in like a bunch of other stuff that's also New Zealand focused. So anyway, the synopsis is: when Allie transfers to Avalon High, she soon realizes that her new classmates are reincarnations of King Arthur and his court, and she must defeat traitor Mordred.
That's good.
Yeah, pretty good.
I was really worried it was going to say too much.
Yep. Same. Well, that is the business.
Yeah.
Done, because you already got to the fun facts.
Oh, yeah. And there was only one.
That's right. Al.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions of this movie?
Thanks, Val. I loved this movie. I had so much fun watching this movie. I think that if it had a more of a budget behind it, it would have felt like not a DCOM. Mm-hmm. But because it had a lower budget, it just felt like, like editing the sound of this. Yeah. I'm going to give it an 8.
Wow. You really liked it.
I liked this movie a lot.
All right.
I thought that the twists and turns were fun. There were a couple silly things throughout where I was like, okay, weird choice, but like I did really like this movie.
Nice.
Yeah. And first impressions. I had never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
I had never heard of it before, except for when that person mentioned it during the audition. I do not remember perceiving this movie at all. It's funny because we have like, I perceived and watched Camp Rock 2, but like a couple months later, I didn't perceive and watch Avalon High.
Right.
And then there's other movies that we'll watch that I think once I hit college, I knew they were made. I just didn't watch them.
Sure.
I have watched them since, like, you know, the ones that are coming up. Like, I did watch Lemonade Mouth, like, during lockdown. I have seen all the Descendants because they're actually really good. So, like, you know, there are a couple in there that I have seen, but, like, those in-between ones that we're going to get to, like this one, I didn't know really that it existed.
Right. Yeah.
Val, first impressions.
Yeah, I also had never heard of this movie, didn't know what to expect, and I was mostly pleasantly surprised, especially after the dud of the last one. Well, so we're recording this a little out of order. So the last movie that we watched was Den Brother, which we both did not like.
No.
So like in contrast to that, it was a pleasant experience. I will say that I think the dialogue felt a little bit clunky to me. Like there's a lot of like kind of, I am saying to you the thing that I am saying.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and I am responding to the thing you just said. You know, like it felt a little bit like that sometimes with the way that they talk to each other. But I think that it was performed pretty well. I thought it was a very fun concept. And they did their best with the budget that they had. Like,
for sure.
There is I guess, I don't think this is a spoiler. There is a sword fight on a beach that actually like is pretty elaborate and it's cool. And like they obviously made the most of like being in New Zealand and having like picturesque scenery to use. So they filmed outdoors and it looked really good. So yeah, I think on the whole, I definitely enjoyed this movie. There were obviously some things I probably would have, you know, if I were in the writer's room or something, I would have like, you know, encouraged them to adjust. But I think for the most part, it was very fun and well acted.
Nice.
Yeah. Al, did you have any favorite quotes or moments?
I did. These are some of my favorite quotes. Seems like a nice guy. Reminds me of me. Miles, do you want some pie? Parents. The parent. I also wrote, so all of my favorite moments are, my favorite part is anything with the parents.
Yeah,
the parents make this
fun.
movie. They're so fun.
Yeah.
She's so pale. She's probably a vampire. Teenage vampires are in these days. Oh, yeah. When I'm at Yale and you're in jail, I'll be sure to tell everyone how cool you are.
Yeah, I wrote that one too. Yeah, that's a fun one.
My favorite moment is they're moving, as we heard in our cold open, and dad is struggling to pick up a really heavy box, and mom walks out and picks it up like, no problem.
And no one comments on it. It just like happens.
Nope, it's just like a silent scene. It's so funny. And my least favorite moment in this movie is Britt Robertson is cast as a like cross-country track and field runner, and she cannot run.
It looks like she's literally never run in her entire.
She looks like she's never run.
I wrote that down.
And maybe she had it. Maybe this was her first time. But I'm like, how are you casting? You got to change it.
Yeah, like
you
have it as part of the audition, or like pick a different sport or something.
Pick a different sport. Have it be javelin and just show her throwing. You know, like the fact that it was track and field. So my least favorite moment is when Greg Sulkin says, "You're seriously fast," because she is seriously not fast. You know what, Val? I'm changing my ranking. It's a 7.75 strictly because she doesn't know how to run.
I love that. My favorite moment was gonna be anytime she was running.
That's my least favorite. And there's like montages. There are montages of her running.
I know. It's so
Get a
funny.
body double.
I know. It's hilarious. Like I've never seen anything like this before.
It is absolutely wild. Val, what are your favorite quotes and moments?
At one point, Miles goes, "Just tie your shoes. What am I, your mother?" And then, the dad goes, "Did someone float your boat?" Did you meet a boy?
The dad is just, I mean, the dad and mom
they're
are
both
rock stars.
Yeah, they're both good.
And I do have to say too, that I love that she has a really good relationship with her parents.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
I liked that.
Like she is, somewhat frustrated by the constant moving, but like she doesn't take it out on them. Like she's like, clearly very mature and like they have a good relationship with each other. Yeah, I wrote, when I'm at Yale and you're in jail, I'll be sure to tell people how cool you are. Miles had a lot of good lines too.
Yeah.
And then this was a hard-hitting one. It's called Being Nice, Miles. You should try it instead of hiding your insecurities behind your snark.
Dang.
Okay, so yeah, and I already said my favorite moment was anytime she was running because it was so comical.
So bad. It's so bad.
It was so funny. Oh my gosh.
Honestly, if you're listening to this and you're like, I listen to your podcast and I don't rewatch the whole show because Al does such a good job of doing the plot in Spoiler City, do yourself a favor, just look up like Avalon High running.
Yeah, it's in the first like 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. Like you'll see it.
It is. It's worth the watch for sure.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, we blasted through that. You ready for some Spoiler City?
Oh yeah, I'm riding horseback, topless.
I
think we've already been topless. Oh yeah, armor pants, no armor top, armor hat.
Helmet. Yeah,
hat. Yeah, no, mine's not a helmet. It's a hat. It's like a baseball cap,
but like made out of metal.
Yeah. It's like a dad hat. It's got got a hole for my hair.
Oh my god.
So we're running on a horse running. So you know how when you're like on a bus, like are you moving on the bus or is the bus moving? You know, like that question. So we're running on top of a horse that's running on the beach. That's how we open this movie. And a girl like falls off of the horse and she wakes up from a dream and we have Allie. It's me. I'm the one in the movie. And then mom runs in. She mentions that she needs to be unpacking and that she's going to the new high school today. She like has a track and field pamphlet. She crumples it up and throws it in the trash can.
She goes, "There's no point.
There's no point because why would I run track when I don't know how to run? 1, 2, I don't usually stay at a school long enough, to have this, be a thing." So
right.
We find out from our cold open, if you remember, that she's going to be at this new high school for 3 years. So she's going to be able to graduate high school here, make new friends, apparently join the track team if she can make it, if they think that she's a good enough runner, because her parents got a job working at this university that's in town, and she can actually have a life. She's very excited. So we start off this movie very high spirits. Mm-hmm. She goes for a run. So this is when we told you that you should watch this movie. Within the first 5-10 minutes, we see her running. And she runs into a cute guy at the water fountain. And for some reason, it flashes to like a medieval cup sharing. Like, she has these like visions kind of that take her into like medieval times. Mm-hmm. So she and this man are sharing drinks in steel cups, drinking out of the fountain of youth. Cool. And then we go to school and the bully is, bullying the nerd guy. And then the hot guy from the water fountain comes up and stops the bully from being mean to the nerd. And we find out that the hot guy and the bully are stepbrothers. And the hot guy is Will and the bully is Marco. Mm-hmm. And the nerd is Miles.
That's right.
I think this is the first time I've been correct with everyone's names this
Got
early
it.
on. So he finally introduces himself and he's like, "Hey, you're the girl from the water fountain," he says, not knowing how to do an American accent. And I wrote, he is football. He is football. He is quarterback. He also has a girlfriend, and he introduces his best friend, Lance, and I wrote Lancelot because this is, King Arthur parody. Thank you, Meg Cabot. So he has his best friend Lancelot, his girlfriend, whose name I will pick up. Sorry, I was
Jennifer.
Jen. I was doing
which
so
is
well.
The modern version of Guinevere.
Oh, thank you. Amazing.
I learned that from Jeopardy.
Cool. And then Allie's parents, she's in class. her parents wrote the book that they are studying in class because she's in like medieval history, or she's, that's what they're studying. The teacher's cool. He's like chill, laid back. And she sits in the back next to the nerd. And he's like, oh my God, you can't talk to me. And she's like, why? And he's like, because everyone hates me. And she's like, I literally don't care. So Allie's actually like pretty cool.
And so is Quarterback. He's also very nice and enlightened. Yeah.
So they get assigned papers, and Will, Quarterback, he wants to be with his girlfriend, Jennifer. And he's like, no, you can't be with Jennifer. You're going to be with someone else. Jennifer, you're going to be with Lance. And then Will get his assignment because everyone pulls out of a hat like the assignment that they got. And Will's is love triangle with King Arthur and Lancelot. And then it pans to like Will's girlfriend, Jen, and Lance, and they have worried faces. And we're like, oh, that's foreshadowing. So like that, like love triangle right there, which was actually a real thing. So Allie gets the Order of the Bear, and she is paired with the nerd guy,
Miles.
And so they get the Order of the Bear, and it's weird because no one really knows what that is at this point. But then at the same time, the nerd guy, Miles, gets like a vision about Allie at track, and he's like, hey, tie your shoes. So we go to her basically, trying out for the track team, and she like looks down and she's like, my shoe's untied. Wait, what? That's weird. Miles told me to like check my shoes. So she ties her shoes, and she was like delayed from taking off
because she was making eyes at Quarterback.
And she like had another medieval flash of like the football field guys like fighting one another on the field. But then because she's so good at running, she comes back and beats everyone in the 400 meters. So then the parents ask of her about her day, and they can like tell that she like likes a boy. But then Miles shows up at her house to write a paper that's due in 3 weeks, and he's like, I don't procrastinate. And she's like, okay, literally what? So they're like looking for everything. They're like looking for anything about King Arthur and the Order of the Bear, and they can't find anything. But then Miles has like a really weird vision. And I didn't write down what it was, but he has some sort of vision. And then they ask her parents about the Order of the Bear, because the reason that they are in town working at this university is because they are scholars about King Arthur. So like, this is why she has interest in it. This is why parents are working in this town. So they know about the Order of the Bear. And she didn't want to have to ask them because she's like, I don't like asking them because they're going to just not stop talking. And like, it's annoying. And like, I just like want to do my own thing. But then Mom pulls out this special book. So there's a special King Arthur book that she has. And it's like the Order of the Bear is this ancient organization that states that King Arthur will be reincarnated, quote, when needed to bring the world out of darkness and into the new age of enlightenment. Or AKA bring back Camelot. And it happens to someone in every century. But there's this bad guy who tries to stop it from coming. And that's Mordred. Mordred. So he was murdered. How did he die? He was murdered. So she wakes up in the middle of the night to read the rest of the book. And the picture of Camelot in the book looks a lot like her high school. So we're starting to kind of piece together that like, okay, something about this high school has like something going on. And so then when she goes to school the next day, she asks her teacher, or her teacher asks her if she found out anything about the Order of the Bear. And he's like nervous now. Like you could just tell like something's up with this guy, even though he's really cool, just there's like something up. And I wrote, he's the bad guy, right? Or the stepbrother bully. So in my head, I'm like, okay, it's one of these two. It has to be because this is, what they're giving us. So then Allie spotted Lance and Jennifer flirting. Our love triangle. Then we go for another montage run. Running through New Zealand. And then she runs into Will. Okay, Mr. Quarterback. They have a heart to heart. She does not say anything about the flirting. And he confesses, he's like, I feel like I do football for everyone else. Like I don't. Like, I like it, but like, it's not like my passion. And then she invites him over for, quote, friend burgers, which I absolutely love the idea of friend burgers. I eat a lot of those. So then we go to the football game. We're at the game. And her parents are there. Dad is reading a book at the game. He's like a girl at the One Direction concert being like, maybe if I read a book, then they will notice me. If you've ever read One Direction fan fiction, that's how they all start. Wow. Val is like, Al, who even are you?
More like, who do you think I am that I would have any reference point to that?
It's fine. Okay, so then she like gives Will a look during the game, and then everyone's like, ooh, and she's like, I don't know. And then they go to the post-football game party, so her and Miles go. And then we see like Will and Marco having this weird brother interaction. They're like yelling at each other. Because
Marco's like being a piece of crap at this party.
Piece of crap. He like put candy spiders all over the food. And then we find out that Marco is his brother, and he's sad because his dad died and his mom remarried Will's dad. So he's upset because his dad died, and like he's just like kind of lost, but he's like kind of mean, but we find out his backstory a little bit. And then Miles has another vision, which I didn't write down what it was, but then Allie saw Lance and Jen kissing. And Jen begs her not to say anything to Will. And at this point, she chooses not to. So then, next day at school, she brings the book. She brings this special book 101, King Arthur's Coming Back book, to her teacher. I said, seems like a bad idea. Seems like a bored idea. And Marco confronts Allie about Lance and Jen. And he's like, I know what you saw. Are you going to tell Will? And he's like super mean to her. So I'm like, oh my God, who's the bad guy? Because we have two bad guys here. They're both bad. They're in cahoots.
And I was also very confused why he didn't want her to tell Will. Like, you would think that if he was trying to just hurt Will's feelings, that is exactly what he would want. So that was when I was sort of like, I don't understand his motivations at all.
Yeah.
So that was
silly.
Weird. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. And maybe it's just because, 14-year-old brains who watched this in 2010 wouldn't pick up on that.
Yeah, maybe.
So then she and Will go on a run together. And this time he is quite obviously flirting. And she still doesn't tell him about the kiss that she saw. We go to the football game. Lance, during the game, looked at Jen. So then Will got hit and the other team scores. And if they don't win next week, Val, what happens?
They don't go to state.
We said the same thing at the same time. Okay, so then Miles comes over to Allie's house because she needs help. And she's finally like, Miles, you keep having these visions. You had a vision and you came to my house in the middle of the night. You got it. Like, what is going on? And he has a vision about the secret page in the book. So in book 101 of King Arthur, hello, ring, ring, it's King Arthur book. There's a secret page. So then I wrote, what if Miles is the bad guy? Spoiler city, he's not. But at this point, I was like, it could be anyone. Like this movie to me was shocking. And we find out in this secret book, they go to the book, they like slice open one of the thick pages and THICC pages. And Arthur can only come back on a meteor shower and an eclipse on the same day. And you guys, it's on the day of the big game.
They literally said the big game. It was so funny.
Big game. Oh, this is such a textbook decom.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And Mordor is trying to get rid of Arthur before Arthur knows his power. So if Mordred can kill Arthur before Arthur becomes Arthur, then this prophecy will not be realized.
Right. And they're like talking about literally killing people. Like this is
literally killing a child. So then she involves her parents and they're like, yeah, hey, Allie, we got something to tell you. We moved here on purpose. We knew this was going to happen. We moved here because we knew that meteor shower and eclipse happened on the day of the big game. And we can tell after meeting your friend Burger friend Will, that he's King Arthur. So they're trying to solve and figure out the plan. But then Miles has a vision and he saw Excalibur. Hello. He saw Excalibur, okay? Which means he's Merlin. Okay? I wrote, is he Merlin? Yeah, he's Merlin. So then Will gets caught cheating during a test. He got caught cheating. And I was like, but this seems like a setup because it was on his shoe. It was a
setup. Yes. It was an absolute setup.
Yep. And it was on his shoe. And the teacher was like, hey, what's on your shoe? And Will's like, what the fuck? And so he didn't even know. So then he has problems at football. And then Allie go.
This was another moment where I was like, I don't understand why people are reacting this way. Cause like his football teammates are like mad at him because he like got caught cheating. And like, first of all, the fact that they believe that he was cheating after playing with him and knowing the kind of person he is kind of surprising to me. But also like, even if they genuinely thought that he was trying to cheat, like why would they be mad at him? Like, they didn't quite make the connection. Like, I guess maybe they were like worried he wouldn't be able to play, but like he got away with it. So like, why are they mad? You know what I mean? Like, if anything, I would imagine like a bunch of teenage boys being like, dude, like, way to go, man. Like, you got away with it. You know?
Yeah, you got him.
Right.
Tell me how you did it.
Right. It was just super
what boys
weird.
say, right?
The way, totally. The way that they were reacting was weird. Anyway, proceed.
Thank you. So then Allie confronts the teacher. She confronts Mr. Moore and says, Will is King Arthur. I don't know what to do. You got to help me. And then Will finally sees Jen and Lance together. He runs off and Allie follows. And she tells him, she's like, my guy, you're King Arthur. And he's like, yeah, I am King Arthur. I need to like stand up and take one for the team. And like, thank you, Allie. You're the best. Like he literally ran away from the big game because like before the game, they're like, we can't start the game. Where is it? You know, like, and then she goes up and she's like, no, literally. She's like joking him like, you're King Arthur. And it's not registering. It's a metaphor. So they go back to the game. Meteor shower happens. LOL at this meteor shower. Okay. It's not one strike across. No. Imagine if in Harry Potter, in the Great Hall, all the candles that are floating, if all of those candles just started moving really fast in diagonal lines. That's what this meteor shower looked like. It was bad. Bad so special funny. Effects. Tisk. So then the meteor shower happens and then the team is mad at him before halftime. But then he like goes in the locker room at halftime. Will and Lance make up. And then Will does this pep talk. You know, it's very medieval. You know, like he's like, yeah, we got to do this together. We're boys. And then he runs into Allie in the stadium. I wrote weird. And he's like, hey, we got a lot to talk about because he obviously is broken up with Jen because he saw his best friend kissing. Him and Lance made up. And then Lance comes up to Allie and he's like, hey, where is he? He's missing. And she's like, what the heck? I just saw him. What the heck? So he's missing. And so then Miles has a vision and Will is in the theater and Marco is outside of the theater. Stinky, evil stepbrother's outside of the theater. And he's on the ground. He's like pushed over and he's like, Will says it's not him. He's like, it's not Marco. Marco's not the bad guy. And it was like, yes, it was the teacher. And the teacher's Mordred. And we find out that Marco was mean because he was trying to protect him because Marco was the Snape of the story. He was like mean because he was like trying to protect. And his dad, who had passed away, was in the order. So he knew that like Will's King Arthur. He knew all of this was happening. He knew Mordred. So he was like being mean and trying to protect everyone. And Miles is Merlin and Will is Arthur. And so then Mordred turns into a knight. And he's
the
teacher, in his knight stuff.
The teacher.
Oh yeah, the teacher. Sorry. So then Mr. Moore, who's Mordred, turns into a knight and he's like, and he's got his baseball cap, steel hat on. And he has a magic staff and he's like, shoo, shoo. He's like gonna defeat all of them on the stage. And something we didn't mention was when she was running in a montage, she ran past the theater that they were doing Julius Caesar. So there's all these like fake props and stuff. So then Allie is going to protect Will and like, hey, I'm going to get you this fake Julius Caesar sword. She pulls it from the stage. And once she moves it, it turns real. And I wrote, oh my God, she's King Arthur. I had no idea, Val. And I said this, I was not expecting. And I'm sure a lot of you expected this, but I did not. So then, for some reason, we transfer ourselves back to the very beginning when we're naked on the horse on the beach and for the horse fight, and they're having a sword fight, and she gets blown off by Mordred, just like our beginning scene. And we have a King Arthur can't be a girl fight montage, and Lance is there to help, even though he wasn't in the theater before. And then she wins by telling Miles that his staff is Merlin's staff, and it burns anyone else's hands, and so he tries to use his real sword, and so then she defeats Mordred. Whew, okay, so then we're back in the real world. That was a crazy beach fight. Everyone was there, and then the popo come, and then the sword turns fake again. So then Mr. Moore was like, she literally tried to kill me with that sword, and she's like, you mean this sword? And it's fake and plastic. And so then the police don't believe Mr. Moore, and then tells the kids to get going. But then he arrests Mr. Moore for like no reason. Like he like started arresting, not for no reason. Well, no, but he didn't see it in the fight.
Mr. Moore lunges towards Allie, like as if to attack her, and that's when the cop grabs him because he's acting like a lunatic.
Yeah, because Mordred is like the bad guy. He's Voldemort. Yes. So it's like him trying to get Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. So then Marco bows to Allie. I laugh because he bowed to her. Ugh. Then we see Will is back in the game, and then Miles is flirting with this girl that he likes. He like talked about her one other time during the movie, and then he flirted with her. And the parents are like, "What the heck? We missed it." And Allie and Miles smile because they're like, "Whoa!" And then the Knights win. We're going to state. We won the big game. And then he gets hoisted up. Will gets hoisted up. He's like, "Roo, for he's a jolly good fellow." And he gets like lowered, and then he goes to kiss her. And then he says, "If you're the reincarnation of King Arthur, what does that make me?" And she goes, "My knight in shining armor." Oh, and then Lance and Jen kiss, and then Miles and the girl he like hug because they don't know each other well enough to have a kiss. And then it ends with her at the round table as like if they're at lunch, but they're all dressed in their medieval garb, and all of everyone's there, and she is King Arthur, and that's the movie. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Val, what was one of your other favorite quotes from earlier?
King Arthur can't be a girl, which I thought was so funny coming from an adult man who was actively trying to murder a child. Mm-hmm. So I told Allie this already, but I knew that Allie in the movie was King Arthur the entire time because
it's me. I'm King Arthur.
That's right. Because when I look up the cast and like look up what they've been in and all that stuff, I do that before I watch the movie. Mm-hmm. And in this instance, they have them listed as like Allie Pennington / King Arthur and like Miles / Merlin. So I knew that like Mr. Moore was Mordred from the beginning. Yeah. So like kind of a bummer, that I like didn't get a chance to at least maybe be like surprised. I was genuinely surprised by Marco's character twist. So that was fun. But I also kind of appreciated being able to watch it from that perspective because, it's like watching something a second time where you like catch different things. Like, yeah, I was like paying attention to stuff like, for example, I think Miles, and obviously at the time, I don't necessarily think this was like verbiage that they would have used or anything like that. But like Miles is definitely like sort of written as being like neurodivergent. Like he's definitely like a little bit neurospicy, as they say on the TikToks. And like, I thought that was an interesting choice with him being Merlin because I think it's like kind of cool to equate like being neurodivergent with like having like power, like superpowers, right? Because like it like that is true. Like, you know, you might have challenges in some areas, but in other areas you were like exceptional because your brain works in a different way. So I thought that was kind of cool. I also thought it was interesting because like I think that throughout history, like people who have been accused of being like witches, for example, were different in some way. So I thought that was also like an appropriate kind of comparison or whatever to be made. So I thought that was like an interesting choice. So I was sort of like paying attention to things like that because I knew, you know, already what was going on to some degree. And I thought it was like cool and smart to like have this head fake, you know, with like everyone thinks Will, including her parents and like Mordred, everybody thinks Will is King Arthur. And it makes sense, right? Like he even at one point is like, I want to be president of the United States.
Yeah.
Like he literally, and he's like perfect, right? She even says that at one point. She's like, you're perfect. And he kind of is. So of course, like everyone would think he is King Arthur. But I thought that was like cool that they did that. And I also thought like I would have loved if they made a second movie, only because I'm like kind of curious, like how that would have manifested. Like, does he still get to be president or is she president? You know, like kind of like seeing what happens like after, but I understand why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was like my perspective, having known the entire time what was kind of going on. One thing I thought was very funny is because we've been talking a lot about how she couldn't run like at all. She was so bad at running. I actually thought her sword fighting was exceptional.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that the sword fight choreography looked so good. And like moments where they were on her face, like where it was very clearly her doing the fighting. Like I thought she did a really good job. And I thought it was so funny that she was like better at sword fighting than she was at running.
Yeah. For sure.
Anyway.
100 P.
Yeah. So Al, do you have anything else you want to cover before we go to Bingo?
No, I think I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. I'll start this week.
Great.
Because I haven't in a while.
For anyone who is new to the pod, and last week we came back after break and you are confused about what's happening, you can follow along with our bingo sheet on our website, which is at the Trident TridentNetwork.com/DCommentariesPod. And you can find our bingo card there. You can play along with us, or if you're just trying to put a picture to your brain, you'll at least be able to see it there or on our Instagram as well.
That's right. One hit wonder song.
We had some modern music in this
I know.
Sure
I
movie.
Was shocked when I heard Battlefield.
Battlefield. Very cool to hear that song.
Yeah, that was very fun.
And there was also a play song.
Yeah. Yeah. I never, have you heard of the Fire Theft? I've never heard of that band.
No.
That was the other song.
No,
Well,
but
then-
I don't think the play song is a one-hit wonder, but if for anyone who doesn't remember play, they sing it's us against the world.
Yeah. But I think the other one, Chain, is the song.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would qualify.
Yeah, I think all of them combined are one-hit wonder.
Okay.
Breaking the fourth wall or looking into the camera?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday themed. Nope.
Clunky metaphor.
I mean, the whole thing is a metaphor.
Yep.
The entire movie is a metaphor.
The entire movie.
Parents who just don't get it. No,
they really get it.
they get it hard.
Mm-hmm. I do find it interesting we never see the step parents.
Yeah, I feel like it was just like unnecessary.
Yeah, I just find it interesting. They were never at like the football game of like.
I'm sure they were. We just didn't see them.
Or they were like in Hawaii. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Cool non-parent adult. Well, the teacher was cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, do we count that? Because I don't know if we've ever had that happen in a DCOM,
where he's
actually.
both the cool non-parent adult and the cliche villain.
Yeah,
I kind of want to mark him for both.
I think we can.
Cool.
We can. Someone too famous for a TV movie.
No.
I don't think so. Like, the dad would probably be the closest, but as much as he's had like a really big career, I don't think he would like stand out the way that like some of his other Second City Toronto co-stars would, you know?
Yeah. Competition to resolve central problem. I mean, not the football game, but kind of the football game. Day the big game.
I don't know if I want to count it. Like, there is a football game and it's important, but it's not, it doesn't resolve the central problem.
Okay.
The battle does.
Mm-hmm. Which is the battle is a competition.
Okay. All right. We can count that. The sword fight. A montage sequence. Absolutely.
Oh, so many.
Yeah.
And I ran so poorly. Couldn't get away. Cliche villain. Yeah, Mr. Mordred. Val laughs at me every time I say his name wrong, but I don't know what it is. So
Mordred. I liked it when you called it Mordor.
Mordor. That's what I wrote.
Oh, clothes or items you owned.
My steel baseball cap.
Right. I didn't see anything. I also feel like I'm less and less often having something in this because I was like a full-blown adult at this point, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you might like have still followed trends by a certain point, or like, you know.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I did not see anything. I mean, I have a football, but like, it wasn't central enough to the story to count.
Yeah. Okay. Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60.
So I'm torn because on the one hand, I do think this is a pretty good movie, but on the other hand, I'm not sure how many people have seen it. So I'm going to say 46.
53.
Okay.
So we get the square and you don't win.
But I wasn't that far off.
Yeah, you were closer than you have been in the past.
Yes. Yes. 53 is good. 53 is solid.
Mm-hmm.
Happily ever after. Absolutely. They get a smoochy smooch.
Mm-hmm. Which leads us to almost kissing.
Yep. They had
you have to almost kiss. Almost kiss to kiss, but also
there is an almost kiss.
Miles kind of wanted to, you know, like there's a couple almost kisses.
And there's a Lance and Jennifer almost kiss.
Ooh, yeah, on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Someone who became famous.
Greg Sulkin. He's got like he's like millions.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Not my friend Greg. He's got 7 million followers on Instagram. Oh my God, look at his abs, Val. I'm sorry to Greg Sulkin. I'm what is it when you're
him?
I'm objectifying Greg Sulkin right now. I'm so sorry. Oh, and he's got a girlfriend. Oh no, I'm sorry to his girlfriend.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh no, he's gonna know.
He definitely listens.
He listens. Betraying of one's real friends or values.
No. Literally everyone is very honorable in this movie.
I guess unless you count Lance and Jen, but even then, they're still really nice to each other.
I know. I was going to say, like, it's weird. Like, everyone is so nice in this movie, with the exception of Marco, but he's also pretending. So it's like, literally everybody is nice.
Yeah.
Your childhood crush? No.
No. Greg Sullivan's hot now, though.
Yes.
Obviously, bad special effects or stunts. That meteor shower.
And also the fight before they get to the beach, like when they're still in the theater.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
Mordred's magic. I mean, it's so bad. Like, we've talked about this before, where like the fighting has to be really, really slow to accommodate for the special effects. And it just looks terrible.
Yeah.
So that was really rough. Disney Channel star. Yeah.
Greg Sulkin. He's on Wizards.
Wizards
of Waverly Place. Musical number? No.
Nope.
Not even like a guitar solo.
No. But magic.
Yay, we haven't marked this one in a while.
I know.
Someone says the title of the movie. Yeah, it's the name of their high school.
Yes, that is correct. It is said a few times.
Yeah.
It's said in the cold open that we read.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
We said the title of the movie.
That's right. We did. Scooby-Doo. Absolutely.
Those kids, those meddling kids sure did figure out what happened. They did uncover the monster.
They did.
And in this case, a real monster.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The heroes create the problem.
No.
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 I don't think so.
Lead is a fish out of water. I mean, in the sense that she's new to the school, I guess, but like she's pretty settled immediately. So I feel like
wouldn't say so because she's so confident.
Yeah, she's just like kind of whatever.
Well, Val, we liked this movie, but we don't like this bingo. We have no bingo this week.
I am actually really surprised by that. I feel like this was such a quintessential DCOM.
We had a lot, but we were just missing a couple core parts. We were missing a holiday. We were missing the heroes created the problem. We were missing closer items we owned. So we really kind of screwed us on this one.
It's our fault. Yeah.
It's our fault.
Well, fair enough.
Or someone too famous for a TV movie. So, yeah. All right, Val. Yay. Before we started recording, I said, Val, you're in for a treat for this game. And this game is a doozy. I wanted to do something that I've never done before because we've done trivia. We've done Val has to guess. We've done creative stuff. And so I wanted to do something that may not work on a podcast. And I'm willing to take one for the team here. So Val, I have 6 movies here. Wait, I need to give this a title first. This is medieval miming. Okay. So
are you gonna charades these movies?
Okay, so I have 6 movies. So the thing is, I'm going to have you take your headphones off. I'm going to tell our listeners what the movie is, and then we will record you guessing my charades.
Got it. Okay.
Of what it is. Okay.
Tell me when I should take.
Okay, so take your headphones off. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Val, it's me, Al. I'm going to keep talking until... Okay, you can't hear me. Okay, she can't hear me. Okay, I'm still going to block my mouth. Okay, so the first movie is The Green Knight.
Okay.
I'm so excited. Okay.
Go on. Okay, first movie. 3 words. Middle word. Rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Green? Green. Okay. The Green Knight.
My favorite part about this is that you're just going to listen back to this and hear all of my notes.
Okay.
I know you can't hear me. My favorite part is that you're going to listen back and hear all of my grunting. Okay. Okay. Second movie.
Okay. Second movie. 2 words. Second word is a short word. No. Second word. First half of the second word. A compass. Ass. Compass. North. Okay. Bra. Boob. Allie. Person. Body. Myself. Girl. North girl. Girl north. Oh, not a girl. Boy. North boy. Man. Northman. The Northman.
Third movie.
Okay. Sword. Swordsman. Knight. Okay. A Knight's Tale. I love that movie.
Okay. Fourth movie.
2 words. First word. Dragon. Dragon badge. Dragon heart.
Fifth movie.
Fifth movie. Two words. Second word. Bride. The Princess Bride.
Yes. Okay, last movie.
Sixth movie. Two words. Second word. Smoke. High. First word, yeah. Okay, second half of the first word. Pump. Scooter. Lawnmower. Mower. Mow. Lawn. I already forgot what the other word was. I have no idea. Pass. Oh, Avalon High. Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this was so funny.
I hope the listeners enjoyed that.
This was so silly for the two of us. I don't even care if that doesn't come across.
Well, the funniest thing is that Allie and I perform at a theater where it is literally our job to mime and guess, like back guess the way that I was just doing. Only we have to do it in gibberish.
It's definitely easier when you can do it in gibberish. I chose just to do straight charades today. But so funny because I also didn't really get up from my chair.
No, it was
so then
great.
when I would, Val was just seeing my like bike shorts that rode up all the way. She was seeing
I loved
too
it.
much of me.
It was very helpful. No, it was very helpful.
Val, thanks for playing. That was so
that
silly.
was very funny.
Val, what are we watching next week?
We are watching Lemonade Mouth.
Ooh, exciting times at Lemonade Mouth
Mhm.
High. I have good feelings for that one.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never seen it, but a lot of people like it.
Yes, I think you will. Like, subscribe, like, tell your mom.
Buy merch.
Buy merch. Follow us on Instagram. Tell someone else to follow us on Instagram. Act like you've known that I've had a podcast for the last 3 years. It's a direct shout out to one of my best friends who did not know I had a podcast.
So
and she'll never listen to this episode, and that's the best part. The story behind that is she thought I always guessed it on Val's podcast.
Which is so funny to me.
It's so funny. Yes, okay. Val, what's one thing you're looking forward to soon?
We're taking my daughter Alice to visit my parents in Florida for the first time in a couple weeks, and I'm very excited to get her in the pool because she loves bath.
Yay.
So I think she's gonna have fun in the pool.
Nice, good. I'm happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
At the same time you're in Florida, I'm gonna be at Disney World.
That's right.
It'll be my last trip for a while. I don't think the next time I'm going to Disney is until April. So
Wow. Well, great.
Wow. Great.
We'll both enjoy our time in Florida.
And we'll be so close, but so far, just kind of like how we here in Chicago.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I love you very much, Val.
I love you very much, Al.
All right. Bye, Val.
Bye, Al. This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.